clinic in a place.
It's a wealthy nation.
Yes. The money talk. The money talk, nigga. The money talk. Bullshit walk. The money, the money, the money talk. The money, the money, the money talk.
Well, welcome back to the Biashara Tuesday lounge right here. And we spoke earlier on that we'll be coming back on set to talk about cryptocurrency. And on set, I'm joined by amazing individuals from Ubrica, intellects, I have to say, and scholars also. But as well, they've come up with a new cryptocurrency. Just getting into the network on the 21st of December. So something new, 21st of December 2018, something new, but the aim is what makes it a little bit more interesting, and even the venture makes it way more interesting per se. So what if healthcare was availed to everyone, and what if education was well funded in such a way that it could be commercialized further? Talk to me about how you'd want that world to look for you. But for now, I'm joined with engineer Alex Maina and Dr. Macharia right here in studio with me. So kindly, you two are from Ubricoin. Can you take me around what Ubricoin really is?
Thank you. And first of all, thank you for everyone for watching. And we're very glad to be here at Kenyatta University. We have lots of friends in this university and different colleges, College of Medicine, the Dean of College of Medicine, a close friend of mine.
Wow.
The chairman of Department of Physiology, Dr. Muirori. We were in class together.
Wow.
So we're very...
Wow.
And
So welcome home.
Yeah, I feel like I'm at home.
Amazing.
Yeah, so Ubricoin, it derives its name from the Ubrica project. Ubrica is an acronym for a long word known as Ustawi Biomedical Research, Innovation, and Industrial Centers of Africa. That is a statement of purpose to build excellence in healthcare and medicine in Kenya,
Right.
and to convert Kenya into a destination nation for medicine. Like people, instead of our people going out to look for medical care like we do, and the people come here, that's a destination medicine. And then to turn Kenya into a biomedical industry giant.
Right.
Part of our vision 2030. Maybe by 2030, Kenya will be a biomedical industry giant. On top of that, we cannot be a biomedical industry giant or destination nation in medicine without our people in the communities having access to the best quality care. So we're talking about universal health access for everyone. That costs a lot of money. And of course, universal health access and all those things are said about best medicine in the world requires highest quality education.
Right.
And that's why we work very closely with universities to figure out how can we create excellence in research, education, and then translation of knowledge from universities and commercialization of that knowledge to take it to the outside, so that now university itself becomes the center for knowledge production, and that knowledge is delivered to the people. Instead of us going to other countries to look for knowledge, we create our knowledge products right within the nation.
Right.
Yeah.
So knowledge commercialization, I think this is a very important, and I think it's an aspect that we'll need to wake up to in terms of a lot of people pick knowledge from universities, and when they go out there, Kenyans, the rate of employment is just at 9%, meaning there's a huge lapse there. How important is this for anyone out there, engineer?
This is a very phenomenal technology.
Right.
And at the beginning you talked about Bitcoin. And I would like to start there.
Right. I think for the 2010s at least, Bitcoin has been the biggest and the most known crypto by anyone else. And my concern was there's a point it went up and people said it was a bubble. And almost true to their word, at some point it took a huge dive and still just trying to recover from that.
Yes.
Kindly build on that.
Yes. First, I would like to demystify Bitcoin
Right.
a little bit. Bitcoin is a currency, digital currency.
Right.
And Ubricoin is a currency, a digital currency. But the first coin, digital coin, on cryptography, cryptography meaning security, was Bitcoin, which was launched on 3rd of January 2009. So it's actually 10 years old now. Its value was zero. It was just like a Boga point today,
Right.
whose value could almost be zero. It's not quite zero. But this innovation grew in value from zero. By 2011, it was $1. By the end of that year, it was up to $10, and has continued to rise in value up to the time when it hit $100, and the world went crazy.
Everyone was going for it.
Yeah, because from zero to $100 was a big story.
Right.
But I would like the viewers to understand that what goes up always comes down.
Right.
And this is what I want to say. When there is a very high demand of something, there is euphoria about it, and then people receive that hype, and nobody wants to miss out, so the price goes up.
Right.
But it reaches a point where people start to sell, because the person who bought Bitcoin at $2, when it hits $100, they want to cash in. When they cash in, then the price goes down.
Right.
The law of supply and demand.
Right. And
So-
something
so-
interesting about Bitcoin
Yes.
is that I just wanted to highlight this. On December 15th, 2017, that was the highest point it's ever been. And it was, in Kenya shillings, it was trading at around 2,011,000 shillings, 375. So quite a high point there.
Yes, yes.
Right.
I was coming to that. So I mentioned $100, which was a high.
Right.
It went down to $20, but went again to $1,100
Right.
in 2013. Now the world went crazy, but it went down to $200. What I want to highlight is that it never went down to $2. It went down to $200, which was higher than the previous high.
Right.
From 2015, when it was at $200, it climbed up to $19,600. That's what you are referring to. Right now, it's gone back to 3,500.
Right.
3,500 is higher than the lowest it was before it went high, which was $200. So the general trend of Bitcoin is always going higher and higher. So from now, it will go beyond 20,000. It is estimated to go to 35,000, 60,000 by the end of 2019, and up to 1 million at some stage.
Right.
So that is about Bitcoin. And there is a correlation between Bitcoin and Ubricoin. That Ubricoin was launched on 21st December 2018. There is a history of crypto. So the world now knows crypto.
Right.
Therefore, the diffusion of Ubricoin, supported by a healthcare project, will be faster than Bitcoin. And the distribution of coins to students and to every Kenyan, up to 1 million, will certainly accelerate the adoption of Ubricoin.
Ubricoin, right,
Yes.
right. And I want to bring this back to you, Daktari.
Yes.
And as engineer says right here, he's mentioned that let's get back to Bitcoin again. It will continue going up, but according to market trends, and I'm quoting data from CoinDesk right here, where at February 2018 it was at around 1,100,000 Kenya shillings, and the trend has been downwards. I beg to differ with you a little bit. To right now, it trades at around 341,000 shillings, let's say. So think of those people who got in when it was at a high, and now what are they experiencing? Losses, I'd say. Those who got in when it was at zero, they're still experiencing profits, but lesser profits than they could have if they got out at that particular point. So Ubricoin, you are taking a different approach when it comes to the distribution of it. You're giving out 2 billion Ubricoins for free, targeting over 1 million Kenyans. Why not just take, I say, the ICO, initial coin offer? That's what most people do.
Number one is to avoid that kind of wide fluctuations that you see with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was created, we didn't know much about it, and the guy who created it, known as Satoshi Nakamoto, or a group of people known as Satoshi Nakamoto, disappeared.
Right.
So they were not there to guide it through the market. So I guess what happened is some few people who had a lot of money bought it or got it, whichever way they got it. So they play around with the market. And when you have only a few people holding a coin that is so valuable like that, then they're likely to make huge market swings. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down.
Right.
Because Bitcoin itself was created specifically as a currency, but we were not guided what to do with it. So people are just speculating with it. To avoid those type of speculative things, we create something else for Ubricoin, something called utility. So Ubricoin is a coin that has use, and then we create an ecosystem for its use. That is something that wasn't there with Bitcoin. Bitcoin had no ecosystem. Bitcoin has no utility, except that later on people discovered that now you can use it as a currency to buy things.
Right.
So to avoid that, we have to distribute Ubricoin to 1 million people. If we were going to do it as an ICO, we're not likely to get a million people. We get a few people with a lot of money buying a lot of Ubricoin.
Right.
You see? And so that's the problem. But if you have 1 million people holding small quantities of Ubricoin, then they're going to start using it among themselves, trading with it. They create utility. They can buy things. They can pay electricity. They can pay rent. They can pay all these things. Now that stabilizes the coin.
Right.
And you won't see these wild fluctuations that we see with Bitcoin.
Right. You seem to have something to add.
Yes. It's back to the question of someone bought Bitcoin at
2 million shillings a coin.
1.8 million.
Right.
Assuming, and now it is at 350,000.
It is, right.
Which I said was $3,500.
That's correctly so.
I would like to draw the attention of the listeners to this fact. It is possible to buy coins, and I bought coin. I'm a trader at a high price because nobody can predict the price.
Right.
There is what we call in finance that markets take a random walk. What that means is that you cannot predict exactly how much a commodity will cost tomorrow.
In the next hour even.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't predict.
Right.
So that's what it's called a random walk.
Right.
But those who are in the industry would know generally the market is moving in this direction. So if a trader buys at 1.5 million and the price keeps dropping, what I would like to advise that trader is never to sell at a loss. You never sell at a loss.
Be patient.
Be patient. It's called hodling. Hodling, H-O-D-L.
Right.
You hodl. That is the crypto word for staying strong. You stay with your goods. You do not
Through the
sell
storm.
at a loss.
Right.
Because it will certainly turn around. And I would like to explain why people sell. They see the value of Bitcoin coming down, and then they panic. Oh, I'm going to lose all my money.
They opt out.
Yes.
Right.
This is called fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Right.
And because they are uncertain, they think it will become zero, they sell, and therefore they totally lose.
Right. Let me just ask you. Let me just ask you at that particular point. You've mentioned it's more convenient, or it's more advisable for someone to hodl. That's a new word I'm getting.
Yes,
Thank you
yes,
so much.
yes.
And wait until it picks up again. And interestingly, so experts are predicting an 84% increase in Bitcoin by the end of the year. You mentioned that. However much it's been taking a fall for quite some time now. What is the value of one Ubricoin right now?
The value of one Ubricoin is $50, which is 50 shillings. Yeah.
Right. You're giving out 10,000 Ubricoins to every single individual. Wow. Students, right. Why specifically students, and why 10,000? Because that is a lot of money. 50,000 shillings is not something you're going to pick out here for free. Right.
That's right. We're giving 10,000 Ubricoin. That's a 5 million shillings.
Right.
Isn't it?
It's
By 500,000.
500,000, half a million shillings.
That's half a million shillings.
Yes, because they deserve it. If you're a student at KU, give yourself a pat in the back and say, I deserve it. We know we have to support education by all means. And of course, when you give the Ubricoin to the student, 10,000, that is, he knows that I have 5 million shillings, and then, but it is in foreign money.
Right.
Yeah, I have a half a million shillings,
Right.
but it is in foreign money.
Right.
How do I work to convert it into money that I can use?
Right.
So it's a challenge Number one, when you have that much money in your pocket, you're challenged to want to convert it into usable money.
Right.
Now, how do you make this money usable? If you have 500,000 shillings and you pay rent, you go to your landlord and tell him, now I'm going to pay you with Ubricoin. But before I pay you with Ubricoin, I want to teach you how to get a Ubricoin wallet, and then I can pay you with it. And of course, maybe Ubricoin is going to give you some primary Ubricoin that it did for me, and then we can start working and trading with Ubricoin, just paying for your status.
Right.
As we go along, we want even the student school fees to be paid in Ubricoin.
Right.
Yeah, instead of now struggling to raise money to come to school and all that,
Institutions will pick it up.
we create money, and KU agrees to use Ubricoin as a form of payment for the students.
Right.
That takes away all the financial stresses that brings about education. So the 10,000 units are to trigger the students into action,
Right.
so that we can now, if we have every student in this university holding 10,000 units of Ubricoin, then Ubricoin become a standard currency for KU itself.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why it's so we cannot give too little because it would make no sense. If we give too much, students will leave school and say, "Oh, I have enough money now."
Right. But people still need to work out here and even invest and say Ubricoins and so on and so forth. My question is now on adoptability. What are your predictions by the end of maybe the first quarter of 2019? What are you looking forward to in terms of the uptake of these Ubricoin? Because again, even if I have a crypto and it's not accepted out there in the market, my landlord won't take it. It's not as important to me, right? What are your predictions on adoptability?
Very high, because if you have crypto yourself, what we are telling people, when you receive cryptos in your wallet as a student, also help us know who your landlord is so that we can help him open a wallet and we deposit some cryptos in his wallet.
Right.
So, and then when you work on that supply chain, like who supplies you with things? If you have somewhere you go and buy food, somewhere you buy shoes and all that, let us get the addresses for all those people and we deposit free UBNs so that next time you go there, they will accept that you pay them with UBN.
Right.
And that's so adaptability is built that way. We're thinking for everyone who receives free UBN, you have to think about your value chain. Value chain means who supplies you with everything and where do you go to and who buys the things that you produce. So that if you own a restaurant, you want the people who sell to you, the groceries that you use in your restaurants, all have UBN in that.
Right.
And because we have this month of free giveaways, let us, if you own a restaurant, bring all those people who supply you things, and then we also give them UBN. And then bring all those people who consume your things,
Right.
like your customers.
We'll also give them UBN.
We also give them UBN.
Right.
So for a university, like in a situation like this, we give all the students are the customers of the university. But the university has its own suppliers. So if the university also went out and brought their suppliers, which we can figure out all the way at Ubrica, we figure who supplies universities with things.
Right.
We get them UBNs as well. That means even the professors who supply education.
Right.
We get everybody on UBN.
On UBN, right.
So
So the
adoption-
school ends up paying even professors using UBN. Dr. You have, no, engineer, sorry.
Yes.
Your MBA is in finance.
Yes.
And I think the concept I'm getting from Dr. here is much more of outfacing a physical currency. We're going to a cashless economy. And this is, this I think, is what will even create the future for Ubricoin per se. Is it something that we can achieve this soon? Or how early do you predict that coming to pass?
Yes. Cashless society, yes. Sweden is already very cashless.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, banks in Sweden are having a problem because some of the warehouses are not taking cash.
Mm-hmm.
So the Central Bank of Sweden is right now trying to create a central bank crypto called krona, e-krona. Now, we are talking here about two systems running. Ubricoin in this particular case is a digital currency and Kenya shilling.
Right.
Kenya shilling will still continue to be, but there will be convertibility. But I would like to simplify it further because sometimes people are not able to imagine.
Right.
Gold is money. Silver is money. And everybody appreciates that. But nobody says that gold is money by law
Right.
or silver is money by law. Same, Ubricoin is money, but not by law because it's new technology.
Right.
M-Pesa, when it came, I'm a telecommunication engineer, so that is my line.
Right.
When M-Pesa first came, there was a problem. Banks opposed it because although it was money, it was a way of transferring money, many people did not want to go there.
Right.
So this is the same thing with Bitcoin, with Ubricoin,
Right.
and all crypto. So in terms of adaptability, this is the way it goes.
Right.
It starts with the 2.5%. Those are called the innovators.
Right.
And I would like to say we have an innovator in Dr. Macharia.
Amazing.
He created this project from the beginning. I personally only knew about the project when I was doing my PhD research in December.
Right.
So I'm only 6 weeks old also in
you'll be
terms of getting to
amazing.
know this project.
Right.
But it resonated with what I'm studying and what I intend to do.
Right.
And this is how I am here as Ubrica.
Right.
So I'm an early adopter.
Of
Take
Ubrica.
note. He's an innovator. I'm an early adopter.
Right.
Early adopters are the ones that see opportunity.
True.
They don't want to be left out. They are the ones that influence others.
Right.
I'm sure as I'm talking as an early adopter, I have a following.
Right.
And they are following what I'm saying.
Right.
And that now will influence their decisions.
Right.
And that
And I
goes
think,
that goes to the point of 16% of the population.
Right.
And in Kenya, Kenya is very vibrant. I like to say this, Kenya is very vibrant. The first nation in the world in crypto is actually Russia. And Kenya is number 5.
Wow.
It's not even, US is not even in the top list. Nigeria is number 3. Kenya is number 5.
Right.
So Kenya is a country early adopters.
Right.
And therefore cryptocurrency has caught up extremely fast.
Right.
And I would like to put a rider in spite of the central bank governor's advice that this is dangerous.
Right.
Kenyans are still adopting.
Adopting crypto.
Yeah.
And I think now on to matters regulation. Are you concerned that the country's laws and regulations are still pretty feeble when it comes to matters blockchain and Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency technology?
No, I'm not very concerned. In fact, we are very, very happy. Number one, our president right now is very positive about the blockchain. He even constituted a blockchain and artificial intelligence commission. The Ministry of Information and Technology is very much on board.
Right.
And the commission is coming up with recommendations on what to do. So Kenya, we are very lucky that we have a government that is really, really open-minded about this.
About this. It's of young people and vibrant people.
Yes.
I'll have to cut you both right there so that we take a short break and come back with more. But for now, thank you very much. That was Dr. Macharia and engineer Alex Maina there for joining me to talk about Ubricoin. So it's interesting simply because they're trying as much as possible to base it and invest it on education just to help improve healthcare and make coins available to each and every person right there. 2 billion coins they're giving out to at least 1 million students. Let's see how this goes. I'll be following up on this. Maybe your website, Daktari, if somebody would want to follow on that, and a physical address kindly.
Yeah, a website for the Ubricoin is ubricoin.ubrica.com. ubricoin.ubrica.com. A physical address, we're in Karen, we're in a place called Moderedu Road. That is the southeast part of Karen. And so you can always, we invite a lot of students to come and visit us. We are very happy to help them, even open wallets and all that.
Amazing. How to open a wallet? Go to Play Store, find a cryptocurrency wallet, and
Very specific.
get signed up. They're specific,
Yeah, there's
right?
There's one called Coinomi, and there's another one called Trust Wallet. These wallets support ERC20 protocol.
Right.
ERC20. Now, that's a very specific protocol for Ubricoin.
Right.
So you can speak more about that and how you get to know what ERC is all about.
Right.
When you come back.
Right. I will be taking your questions. I'll be making sure they get to respond to both, to all your questions in individual persons, or you can even follow them up on their website, ubricoin.ubrica.com, right? And as well, you can channel your questions to their physical address in Karen, so you can follow up much more on that. But this is something I'm really taking interest in. And as a young opinion leader, again, I'll be keeping you people updated on much more regarding Ubricoin. Don't go too far. We come back with Keep Boy.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Uzunguke mpaka uje ufikie mwezi wa Shaaban. Hapa katikati ni makosa mangapi mwanadamu ameyafanya? Ahlan wa sahlan, marhaban ndugu yangu mtazamaji, tunayekuenzi katika kipindi chetu cha Amana ya Kiislamu. Tumeiteremsha hii Qur'an fi lailatul qadr, katika usiku wa cheo, ndio tupate funzo na maagizo ya Mtume Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallama kwamba wakati unapomdhulumu mwenzako, yule ambaye kwamba amedhulumiwa, Mtume ameweka guarantee kwamba mtu kama yule anapoomba Mwenyezi Mungu, akiinua mikono yake kwa Mwenyezi Mungu Azza wa Jalla, dua yake inakubaliwa. Ni kipindi kinachokuja kila siku. Usiku wa cheo ni upi? Lailatul Qadri